Hello and welcome to another episode of The Kindness Habit. I've known our next guest for actually 21 years because she is my daughter, and I'm so excited to have her be a guest today because she has intentionally gone out of her way to make a difference in the community here in Fort Collins, and she is going to inspire all of us to figure out how we can truly make a difference in the community. So as I look at the kindness scorecard, and I've had other guests, there's different categories from yourself, your partner, your family, your friends, team members, all the way down to community members. So Jamie has been very passionate about making a difference in her community, not only in college, but during a lot of times with animal shelters. So please help me welcome my daughter from Fort Collins, Colorado, Jamie Ittershagen. Woo!
Thank you for that great introduction. I'm happy to be on the podcast.
Well, welcome. So since you were a little child, you've always had a lot of passion for animals. You actually had us rescue an animal once, and he's still now our cat. 9 years later, my 17-pound cat, Charlie. So you've always had a passion for animals. So just tell the listeners just a little bit about you and what you're studying in college. You're a senior this year, but just let people know just a little bit about you.
Yeah. So growing up, I have always loved animals, as you know, because you bought them. We grew up with 2 cats and we didn't want to get a third cat. So I just want to give the listeners a little bit of a story about Charlie, the 17-pound cat.
Mm-hmm.
So I just figured that this cat was going to die if you didn't take him. So I really used those techniques, those marketing techniques, and I created a PowerPoint. And now we have Charlie. But anyways,
yep. And actually, I'm just going to pause you right there because you don't know I'm going to do this. But here's a surprise. I'm actually going to share the screen. And those of you who are looking at the video today, you can see, and Jamie, so I coach people on how to be effective presenting. Jamie could teach a class on this. So she did a whole thing about like, what's causing you to hesitate? Then there's this cute little kitten. I mean, how could I say no to this? Possible reasons listed out. I mean, talk about an amazing salesperson. I think you were like 12 years old at this time. Possible reasons for hesitation. Again, if you're watching the video, you can see these. She included cute photos, which also impact audience members when you're watching this. And then she did this very dramatic close. You'll see another picture of her here. Look how little you were with like braces, and there's baby Charlie. And so anyway, after this beautiful presentation, I was motivated because of your story, but also it's PowerPoint, Charlie, that really motivated me. So yes, when you're 12 years old-ish, you motivated me to save this little kitten that was in a dumpster.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad it worked.
So tell the listeners what you're majoring in.
Yeah. So I am here at Colorado State University. I'm graduating in December, and I'm studying management and entrepreneurship, marketing, and HR. Mostly marketing and entrepreneurship, though, as those are the 2 spots that I feel I can really make the biggest difference. And I love how marketing allows you to tell people's stories and to persuade people. For example, the PowerPoint slide of Charlie. And so no matter what avenue I want to make or I want to go in or what difference I want to make, I know that I can use entrepreneurship and marketing to get there. So that's kind of why I chose to study that. And I have absolutely loved it. And yeah, graduation is coming up soon in December.
Yay, good. And so you did I'll never forget when you called me and you told me what you're going to start to do for the animal shelter, because this was 100% your idea, way outside your comfort zone to start to work with some of these dogs. So tell the listeners what you did as a college student. I think it's a good reminder that any age we can volunteer. And even if you have a limited amount of time, you can find something in our community where we can add kindness and truly make a difference. So tell the listeners what you chose to do, and in your busy college life, what you do to actually make time during the week.
Yeah. So I got inspired to volunteer for dog shelters by this Instagram account. It's based in Canada, and she takes dogs on like day adventures and records their progress and everything like that. If they like the car, what their personality is like, videos, photos, etc. And so I reached out to the shelters and said, like, do you want me to do this? Is there any way that I can help with this? And pretty much they said you need to be a dog walker for a few weeks before you can take them out on adventures. And so I just kind of realized I really want to do this. I felt really inspired all of a sudden, looked at local shelters in my area. I found Animal Friends Alliance, And I had about a 3-hour training session on how to work with shelter animals and how to take them on walks. So now and Steve trained me. He was super amazing, super passionate. Just being able to hang out with all of the different volunteers there too is really awesome. But anyways, I started with dog walking, and then I got trained for Miles for Mutts. So now I can take dogs out of the shelter on little walks. And now I am also fostering for All Aboard, which is also based in Fort Collins. And I am fostering this about 1-year-old husky mix. Her name is Halsey. And so
you have her
I
in your
foster
room,
and
right?
dog walk. Yes, I do.
Let's show the viewers if they're watching the video. Can you show it?
Let me see if I can pick her up.
All right.
Halsey, come here, hon.
She is so cute. I've actually been going on a couple walks with Jamie, so it's been fun to actually see how this fostering program works. Let's see if she can pick her up. And she loves squirrels. Oh, wait, there she is.
She's 35 pounds, so it's not too heavy.
She's so cute. She's so cute.
And she just got a little prick on her leg. So if you see a bandage, that's why, but she's
right.
okay.
She just went to the vet. Yep. And she actually, Jamie, you were telling me that she was rescued from Texas. So Texas shelter actually shipped some of these dogs to Colorado. And so you're fostering her for how long?
For a week, until we find out where she's going to go next. I may extend, we'll just see what is needed, but All Aboard, there's only 2 staff members that are full-time, and they just really needed help. And so they reached out via Instagram, and I just couldn't say no to that face or to helping out, because these people, even though they're getting paid, they're doing so much more work, and they just really needed help. So I am really happy to help. And also, animals just have such a great impact on you. So she's helping me as much as I'm helping her.
Oh my gosh, yes. We've talked a lot about just college and everything, where people are feeling more anxiety and stress, and it's overwhelming. Life's overwhelming. The world's overwhelming. College is overwhelming. How has working with animals helped reduce your stress just a little bit? Because there's so much research behind the power of animals. But for you as a really busy college student, what would motivate other people to do this too? Because that's what I love about kindness. It is, you get so much more back from being kind, whether it's to an animal or to a human. Like, it fuels us so much. So from your point of view, how has this helped you as far as just to have a little bit more stress?
Yeah.
Or less stress, not more stress.
Less stress.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't want more. Well, sometimes depending on what she does. I'm just kidding.
So the dog walking is really manageable. I normally volunteer about 1 to 2 hours a week. So it's really not that much time. I think anyone who's like, I don't have time to volunteer or anything like that, I challenge you to look at your screen time and how much time you're spending on Facebook or Instagram, because that's something that I checked my screen time. It was during December when I started, and I was like, oh my gosh, I spent 3 hours on Instagram today, and I could have been spending that on something that will make me feel better at the end of the day. I would also say, but the volunteering time is almost always my favorite part of the week. So if you can just schedule time in for your mental health as well, giving back, as you said, kind of fills up your cup at the same time, as long as you balance everything well. So I'd say, like, I do work 3 jobs. I have full credit hours, but I still make time because that's what's important to me. And structuring your day based off of your values, I think, is really important. It's never, I don't have time. It's, I don't want to make time for X. And I understand lives are busy, but really just volunteering 1 or 2 hours a day, I think most people could do as well.
Oh my God. And I love that challenge. And I know that you're really good about just deleting apps sometimes. Like, you'll delete Instagram and Snapchat and just say, like, it is a time waster. And I think the average, I just recently read, for kids, probably the same with adults, is over 7 hours a day is on a screen. And so just be more mindful. Actually, I read this book, and I apologize, I can't give credit to whoever wrote this because I just made a note to self, but it's WWW, and it's what for, like, why are you actually picking up your phone? Why now? So why are you actually picking up your phone now? And then what else could you do? So I love how you're challenging all the listeners. It's like, when you're just scrolling through things, it's like, what else could you do that could help someone else? But selfishly, like, it does help us. It recharges us. I mean, when we think about, you're outside, you're getting exercise, you're petting these animals and making their life better. Like, that's definitely impacting you.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. And going back to the anxiety and the effect that it's had on me, I have noticed a decrease in anxiety when I'm with the animals and right after I leave them. I just want to make sure that I answered that part of your question, because dogs don't care what your 5-year plan is. They don't care what car you're driving. They don't care how expensive of a toy you give them. They remind you that it's your soul that matters, and it's showing up and providing love that really matters. And so I think just the acceptance of dogs, they're going to be happy to see you no matter what, is really great in every time of your life, but especially in college when there's so many opinions and so much stress and so many expectations. Just hanging out with a animal that's like, I love you no matter what, even if you got a bad grade, even if you couldn't work as much as you wanted to, you are enough, and I just want to hang out with you. Like, how could that not reduce your anxiety, you know?
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I would also agree that every age is dealing with that, you know? So yes, there's a lot of pressure in college, but there's a lot of pressure. Most of my clients have a lot of stress going on and anxiety. So just to remind all humans, you know, to make that time, because we are making a difference, but then also the science behind what animals actually do with us and for us. And it could even be, one of my clients just had 100-pound pig on the other day in one of my classes. So, you know, choose your animal, whatever animal it is, but like really making time to do that. And I know that you've been very inspirational with some of your friends. I know that you've encouraged other people to foster, some of your friends are fostering little puppies now. What advice would you give the listeners? I love the advice about be mindful of your screen time and think of what else you could do. But in the next 30 days, what is something realistic that all of us can do to really infuse more kindness in our community?
Totally. I would say think about an area of your life that you could cut back time in to make time to give back to your community. I think post-COVID and everything like that, people feel more lonely, anxiety is higher, etc. People need help and connection now more than ever. So realizing the need first, seeing a time that you could maybe take, like let's say Wednesdays after work or something like that, maybe try and make it a social thing with someone. Like, let's go volunteer together at a soup kitchen and then go get dinner after every week to catch up with a friend. Find incentives that you will show up. And if you don't have time, that's okay too. Finding local shelters in your area and donating money, calling them and asking them what they want. For example, I know that you dropped off towels or blankets to the cat shelter, right? Yeah. And that must have been really helpful for the shelter as well. It's also just remembering that no amount is too small. Like, for example, I sponsored an ad for a cat that was like $10 because I'm a college student. I don't have a huge spending right now, but I sponsored an ad and then the cat was adopted because of that ad. Like, and even if that doesn't happen, if you help just a little bit, you will feel so much better and your community will feel better. And just imagine if everyone donated a little bit of money or 1 to 2 hours a week and what an impact that could have.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And with so much out of our control right now, I love just focusing on what we can control. And what I know about humans is that we forget the impact that we have. So just to remind yourself, we are so powerful. We have so much that we can give to other people to make this world a better place. And there is so much more kindness in the world that is not talked about because unfortunately the news likes to highlight things that are not as positive. So just to remind yourself, first, the benefit it will have for you to reduce your stress and anxiety, but also that you matter. And I love the challenge for us to really look at ourselves and say, what can I cut out that is not bringing value to my life? And then replacing it with something that will.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jamie. Well, thank you so much. Whoa, your parents did a great job raising you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the gift of Charlie, even though I didn't want Charlie 9 years ago. Now Charlie is one of my best friends as a 17-pound rescue cat out of a garbage dumpster. So thanks for doing that. I love your heart. Of course, I love you. And again, for the listeners, please remember that you do make such a huge difference in this world. I challenge everyone to do at least one kind act a day, and let's make this world a better place. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Thank you for having me.